So I'm not going to long this one out. We both know what we're here for today. It's to take a look at sneak preview of the Joker build. Let's put that down there out of the way. The quick run WP10BL80. This is the brushed and brushless version. Really, really easy to fit. All you have to do is put the centre wire from your motor into the centre hole and then choose whichever you're going to put in the outsides. If it's running backwards, you can swap the outside ones round and that will fix that, or you can just do it in the software if you prefer to have a cleaner wire run. Quick rundown on the rig: Mears LCG gearbox, Mears radio gear, Leadfoot Customs inserts in my megalithics, carbon alley wheels, custom links by yours truly, yipping 70 kg servo. I'm not going to link it, don't buy this one, buy the one that I link down below. They've done like a cheaper version and it's not as good. We've got the Hobbywing 453S in there. This of course will run this ESC of course will run 4S, but my new batteries haven't arrived, so we're just going to be running 3S today. Purple jamiejck shocks, custom roller bumpers, custom skid for the Mears LCG gearbox. What else? Secure 3625 motor, and this is the Team Revolt Tsunami chassis, which is fantastic. I've had one already, which is what Venom was built on, and this is the V3. I think Venom's either V1 or V2. Only a few little tweaks, but the rails are longer, so it's just easier to get like 330 wheelbase if you want it. We're running about 320 wheelbase at the moment. I may change that before the first competition that I'm entering, round 2 at Kent Radio Control Rock Crawlers. I did a video on that place not long ago. We're here at the culvert at Luton, up by the big Lidls, and it looks like the rocks haven't seen a lot of action since I was here last. We're probably going to run the other side. There's some foliage growing up between it. I'm going to have to work around that. But let's get this thing on the rocks and we'll see what this can do on 3S, shall we? I said I wasn't going to long it, and then that felt really long. So the tip-in feels really, really nice. We have driven into a hole, so that's not a great start. It's saying subject lost, so that might be all she wrote. First impressions of the rig though, really, really good. Yeah, we're not gonna conquer that hole there. Can we get a pull up here? Probably not at that angle. She pulled up there though. I'm just wondering, this is why I'm going to go and crawl the other side, guys. There's just not much in the way of lines this side. Let's see if we can extricate ourselves, and then we'll pop over the other side. Oh, very nice. The ESC is really nice on the 3S. Quite impressed with that so far. goodness. What the... As usual, I doubt the camera has done that justice, but that just looked impossible. And I thought, you know what, we'll just see what we can do with it and how far we can get. There's no doubt in my mind that these inserts in these tyres may be the best thing that I've ever used. Yeah, that ledge is just too high. Oh my goodness. Don't fall in the water. Nope, not there. That is definitely a fall in the water there. Got to get that front right wrapped around the rock there. There it is. I'll tell you what, if there's a ledge, Joe can get one of these Leadfoot Custom clad or megalithic clad Leadfoot Custom inserts that. He's just going to climb it. Just incredible. And the ability to get the vehicle to settle back down. I've never driven anything like it. Now, one of my other rigs with a set of these inserts and tyres, maybe I'd be feeling the same. But for now, this is the most capable rig I've ever driven. I'm loving it, guys. Oh, it's just doing all of the things. Like everything I want it to do, it's doing. Settling down when I want it to. The servo's browning out. That's the only thing. The servo keeps browning out. So is that the BEC inside the servo, or is it just inside the ESC, or is it just because the servo's crap? We're going to drop another servo in here because that's the only way to find out, right? The guy from Crawley Canyon's been very frustrated as he's not been able, I couldn't have asked for a better thing to happen, that float there on the front left. Which reminds me guys, a request if I may from the content creators in our community. Can we start saying front left or rear right instead of driver? Because driver really depends on where you live, does it not? So if we could, and I shall try to remind myself to do it as well. So I have a feeling I've actually been doing it for quite some time anyway, but if we could say front left or front right instead of driver's rear or driver's front, then I do believe life will be better for everybody, and you won't have to think, well, where does this guy come from and which way round do they drive? This is really, really nice. I have done some slow poke testing at home, and temperatures have been very, very good. I haven't noticed anything worrying. Can we pull out of there? So much drive from the megalithics, so I can see, there we go, bit of a bind. I can see why the comp guys have elected to use the megalithic. They're very grippy, but not having anything to compare it to, it's difficult to say, but Jamie from Leadfoot Customs definitely seems to have created an insert for these that is optimised for my rig. I forgot to say that the Joker in its pre-competition configuration, which is how it's set up right now, is around 2350 grams, so 2.3 kilos. If I remember, I'll put that in pounds on the screen for you guys that use pounds still. Yeah, so about 2.35 kilos all up weight at this current setup. Wow, she's doing the thing. So Joker, the Joker is a Class 2, UK Class 2 legal comp rig. Everything is within the spec of the UK rules. So we overwhelmed that survey there. Do you remember me saying I'm not going to be recommending this servo? And I am going to recommend you a servo which I'll link to below, and if you're interested in seeing the video testing of it, I'll try and include a link to the channel. There is a servo out there, guys, from 99mod that is kicking the arse. It's kicking the arses of all the other servos in its league. So if you're interested in seeing the scientifically tested version of that, I will link to it, and there'll be a link down there for AliExpress where you can pick it up. I know a lot of you guys are still not on board with purchasing from AliExpress, and I understand with the tariffs why you might be reluctant to, but I know some people are actually reluctant to, see what happens here, reluctant to purchase from AliExpress because of worries about, you know, just not receiving the item that you've paid for. And with the exception of a couple of times where the order's just gone wrong, you know, whether it was the seller or just a mistake, or, you know, the site messed up or whatever. Those things, I'm not going to drive it out of that depot. Those things have always fixed themselves. So either through a rebate, a refund from AliExpress, or from the seller. So that is something that, in my opinion, you do not have to worry about with AliExpress. Buy with confidence on those links. I wouldn't be doing the links if there was little to no chance of you actually receiving the product. That's not what I'm about. So you guys didn't see me get down there, but let me tell you, honestly, that was a bit tricky. The Joker is working exactly how I'd hoped. I do not know whether this wheelbase is going to bite me in the bum or not, but for now I don't think I'm going to change it. I'll do this first comp with the wheelbase that I'm running right now. So, oh, a little bit stutter, little bit of a stutter there. Don't know whether the battery's getting low. So it just looked like, as it got to the point where there was lots of pressure on, bearing in mind we're on 3S, it did look like it cut the power ever so slightly. So in my mind, this isn't the optimal use case for this ESC. My belief is that if you were to buy an RTR, let's say you bought yourself a TRX4 Sport or something like that, then I think this would be a perfect ESC to run with the brushless setup. So you could, for someone on a budget, you could buy this and then run this with your brushed setup, and then at some point buy a brushless motor. That is so good, guys. Yeah, so at some point you could buy a brushless. I'm just trying to turn around on the rocks without breaking my neck. There we go. We did it. We're alive. Yeah, so then you could purchase there we go. That was very bindy. The rocks are wet today. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, but it is only about 7 or 8 degrees down by the water here. So it is not warm. The Tsunami V3 build, Mias axles. These are the Mias Isokinetics non-cheat code versions. Had I have had a set of the cheat codes, I might have used those. But I don't think we're going to be in trouble. We're about 10 inches or just over 10 inches wide. Wow. Hope the camera's followed it enough there for you to catch that. The manoeuvrability, guys, is incredible. Just as I get myself in a bit of a pickle. So yeah, would I recommend this ESC? 100%. So there we go. The culvert did all the things I wanted it to today. It gave me an idea whether the inserts and everything are working, because this is my shakedown run as well for my comp that's coming up on the 13th of December at Kent Radio Control Rock Crawlers. But we needed to see whether we thought this was going to be okay to use, and from what I've seen, the binds I've seen on 3S, I do think that this is going to work in this application. Is it going to be ideal? No. Maybe the Hobbywing Fusion Elite would be a better choice, but this is definitely going to work, and it's going to get run on the 13th. The Joker really did well. I forgot to mention there's a file for a custom bed. If you're going to use one of these cabs, just let me know. The files that I make, including those for the roller bumpers and the link to the bumper set that you use with it, are all down there, and the files are free. Just to email me. My email address is also in the description box, and you can have any of the files that I create for these for nothing. That's it, I think. All the parts in here except for the servo, absolutely brilliant. And Leadfoot Customs inserts in these are incredible. It's my first experience of megalithics, and we all know that these tyres are incredible, but this insert, it's a different take on a 3D insert. What Jamie's tried to do is to emulate a foam, because the foams give you the most forward drive, and these are the closest to a dual stage foam that I've ever tested, and they've won 2 or 3 competitions already. A lot of the team drivers out there, well, a lot of the comp drivers out there are moving over to Leadfoot Customs inserts, guys, so bear that in mind if you're thinking about checking them out. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, no matter the question, love is always the answer. I'm Dwight for the RC family. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.